Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Brittany, and if this is your first time stumbling across one of my videos, I focus on fashion, beauty, luxury, lifestyle, fragrances, hair, and pretty much whatever else I feel like talking about. So if that seems like something that you may be interested in, please think about clicking on that subscribe button if you enjoy the content, of course. Also, if you're already a subscriber, go ahead and click on that notification bell. I usually upload twice a week, so I don't want you to miss a video. No, I know you guys, long time no see. I have been gone for about 2 weeks now, but I am back. Okay, I am back. I first off want to just say thank you guys so much for all of the well wishes. So many of you guys have reached out to me via text message and Instagram and YouTube, and I really do appreciate it. I am okay. I've kind of been teetering back and forth between taking a break and stuff like that, and life happened to where I was able to do that. So yeah, that's pretty much it. But today we are going to be doing my hair. You guys, I have not done my hair in so long. Okay, so it feels good to have these beautiful caramel locks. Okay, do you see this new unit? This unit is from Hairvivi, and Hairvivi is today's sponsor. So thank you so much, Hairvivi, for sponsoring today's video. I'm also going to be doing a little Q&A. I thought this would be the best way to get back into videos because I haven't filmed in so long. So in order to get back into the groove of things, I thought we'd start off with a little Q&A. So on Instagram, I asked you guys to send me any questions that you may have for me, and we would do like a little get ready with me. So yeah, today we're going to be installing this unit. And the best thing about this unit, I'm sure you guys can see how beautiful and how natural it looks. I'm not using any adhesives whatsoever, okay? Literally none. Just the elastic band that the unit came with. And this is a 13x6 frontal unit that has been bleached to perfection. As you can tell, look at the parting. It matches my skin so perfectly. This is like the perfect fall hair, and the hair texture is nice and shiny and, you know, just not too silky, but it looks really nice and polished, which is my favorite look, especially when I'm wearing my hair straight. So I'm absolutely loving this unit. If you guys are interested in seeing how I apply this using absolutely no adhesives, and if you're ready to get into the questions, then stick around. So this is how the Hairvivi unit will come packaged. They always have really nice packaging. When you open it up, the contents are inside, of course. You're going to get a satin bag to store your unit. You're also going to get another little satin bag, and it has all of your utensils like this comb, which is amazing. These alligator clips, which are my favorite. They're very sturdy. And you're also going to get an edge brush. You could never have too many of these. I go through so many edge brushes for my baby hairs. They include a wig grip and also a pair of tweezers, and this is what the unit looks like. So you can see this unit is constructed extremely well. I always love their hairline, very natural. And in the back you have these really cool little silicone pieces to keep the unit down. Okay, y'all, so I'm just going to go ahead and put the wig on to see how it fits. And I always do this before I cut the lace. Okay. Okay, I want to push y'all out just a little bit so you can see the full unit. The color is so pretty. It's perfect for fall. I'm loving like the caramel brown highlights. And I think it matches my skin tone pretty well too. So this is the parting, okay? And you know Hairvivi always has like the best parting. This is what the hairline looks like. One thing about Hairvivi, they do kind of do more of a square kind of hairline, but it's still a natural hairline, even though it may not mimic your personal hairline. But I still like it. Just like all of Hairvivi units, they look really good right out of the packaging. As you can tell, I haven't even snipped the lace or anything. But the cool thing about this one is that it's supposed to have these amazing ear tabs that you can really mold to your head, and you literally do not need any adhesive, okay? So I did bring my adhesive that I usually use, which is just the Got2b glue free spray. But today we're actually going to see if this looks really natural once I cut the lace off, and let's just see if I can wear it just with the elastic band. I know so many people always ask me about that, and sometimes I do because I know I'm just running somewhere or I don't have to worry about my wig slipping back or something like that. But sometimes, you know, the unit can slide back if you're doing like a little bit more activity. So I want to see how good this new unit is. So this is a 13x6 frontal unit, and you can really tell that it's bleached well. Like even if I wanted to do a part on the side. Some people braid, like, you know, the front, back, and I mean, get really creative with these units. So there's plenty of parting space. I love that. Deep side part, you know, you can pull it up in the front if you want to, which is super pretty. So okay, y'all, so I got a ton of questions from you guys, so we're just gonna get right into it. It's so many. We may not be able to make it through all of them, but we will try. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and cut the lace, and we're going to get into the questions. Okay, y'all, so my little braids keep coming loose, but this is the inside of the unit. So you can see it has the bleach knot panel there. So it's like mimic scalp. You have your elastic band, of course, which is the black part. And then, of course, you also have the band of the wig that you can adjust. And look at this cool piece here. So this basically just keeps the bottom part down. It's like silicone little pieces there, which I like because usually I never remove the lace from the nape area because I find that, you know, it keeps the wig down. But this, it has this silicone there, so that should work really well. These are the tabs that I was talking about on the sides. You see right here? So you're supposed to be able to mold these around your ear so that you don't have to adhere this down at all. And we'll see. I feel like this unit looks really nice, so it may not even need baby hair and all of that. But let's go ahead and get started. I'm excited, y'all. I haven't worn a wig in 2 months, okay? So let's put it on. I always put mine on by the band, and it is like a perfect fit. OMG. It is a perfect fit. Snug even. Okay. So this is, yeah, I can see that. So this is how it looks on. Now you can see this little piece here. So let's see if I can mold this down to where I don't need to adhere it. Just kind of pinch them around. And truthfully, I may need to tighten it just a little bit because on this side, I'm seeing a little bit of slack. You see right there? But on this side, I don't see any slack. So they truly may be onto something, y'all, because it's like on. This looks so good. I don't feel like I need all of this in the front, but I'm gonna leave it, maybe. Let me see, push it back some. These little hairs are a little annoying. This is what the hairline's looking like, okay? So I feel like I can get away with wearing it like this. And this is with like no makeup or anything. So I do feel like I can get away with wearing it like this. And because I haven't worn a wig in a while, I really don't want to adhere this down. So let's just curl it and style it up and see how it's going to look, okay? It's so nice, though. I love this colorful fall. All right, let's get into the questions, y'all. Let's get into the questions. You know I'm going to use Old Faithful, girl. So I have to turn her on. I'm going to let her heat up. So yeah, this is what the unit looks like before we style it up. And I'm going to leave all of the specs down below, but so far I'm absolutely loving it. It's the color for me. I don't even think I'm going to do layers today. I always like to just kind of sit with the wig kind of as is styled and just see. So before we even get started, of course, most of the questions are, where have you been? I think I've only been gone for about 2 weeks. I had been toying with the idea of taking a little bit of a social media break. And it's funny how the world works, because as soon as I was really kind of heavily debating it, I got COVID. So I have been quarantining, and that's why you really haven't seen me. So I just took that opportunity to take time for myself like I had already planned on doing. But of course, with having COVID, it made it that much more easy. And honestly, I didn't talk to really too many people in my personal life. I just really took a good mental break that I so needed. And I'm not going to lie to you guys, it feels weird like to even post now. So it's like, I've never been a person. I've always had to groom myself to be a person to pick up the camera and vlog for you guys and like, you know, capture moments. I love looking at the memories, but I'm in the moment type of person. So I've always had to kind of groom myself into that. And now that I'm out of the loop and kind of like out of practice, it's making it even more difficult to just share online. Like, you know, usually like influencers, they get things, go to Sephora, hey, look what I got at Sephora and all of that. And it's like, I have things and I'm just like, oh yeah, maybe I should be posting that. So that's what I've been doing pretty much, you know, just took a little bit of a break, and it was just extended by me having COVID. And as far as me having COVID, I'm completely fine, you guys. I did have some symptoms. I found them to be quite mild. More than anything, I was extremely fatigued and I had kind of like an upset stomach, and it really just started out with me losing my voice. I didn't feel sick at all, and then I just had laryngitis for a couple days. So when that started to clear up, that's when I started to feel a little bit of that fatigue and, you know, just a little bit of this, you know, the COVID symptoms that you hear about. But I didn't have to go to the hospital. My breathing was fine, all of that. So yeah, and definitely if you are not vaccinated, go ahead and get vaccinated. I definitely recommend it. I think it helps so that you are not hospitalized and have to be put on a ventilator and things like that. But yeah, so that's just my thoughts on that, and that's pretty much where I've been. So we want to get that out of the way. Okay, y'all. So the next question is, do you have any house hunting updates for us? So some of you may know and some of you may not know, but I'm building right now. So the only updates that I have at the moment is that we now have cabinets and we have drywall. I usually get updates from the builder every week, and this past week I did not get an update, but I should get another one this week. I should get an update this week coming up because I think they were doing like electrical work. So usually when that's going on, they don't like send me pictures and stuff like that. But I can always go by the house and take a look at it. I haven't been by there in about a week or so. So I don't know what we have going on at this very moment, but it's moving along. Everyone tells me that, you know, it's never on time. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm not going to jinx it. I'm just going to enjoy the process. And it's kind of fun to see like how fast they really do work. Even though it may take a long time for you, like when you're waiting on your home. But they do move pretty fast. And I love the builder that I'm working with. So they have really good reviews, and yeah, I'm excited. So I'm one of those people though that I don't think about it until it's literally time. And I'm just happy that I'm able to, you know, still have a place to live, because a lot of people when they're building, of course, they've already sold, or they don't, you know, they're not holding on to their property, so they don't have anywhere to go. So I'm just blessed right now that, you know, I'm moving at my own pace. Whenever the house is ready, I'll start moving, you know? All right, so I'm gonna start curling the hair too while we're going through the questions. I tell you, my favorite things that Hairvivi adds to the bag are these alligator clips. These are so sturdy and they're so amazing. I love these clips, y'all. So the next question is, how are you feeling? And aside from, you know, being sick before, I'm feeling great actually. Really needed that social media break and just a human break, I think. So I'm feeling pretty good, feeling rejuvenated. I've been reading some books. You know, I asked you guys about books. This was right before I got sick. And I've been reading these books, and I felt like I needed to start back reading only because it was just becoming a little bit more difficult for me to, like, I don't know, speak without stumbling over my words. I just felt out of practice, and you know, I'm not in school anymore. I mean, I am 33 years old, but I'm just saying I'm not in college anymore. So I just don't feel like I get as much brain stimulation as I'm accustomed to. And even though I still, you know, am working, it's not the same environment anymore. So I really wanted to, like, you know, get back into reading. So that's been a fun hobby for me lately. So I'm feeling really good and rejuvenated. This is how the hair is curling. The curls are really bouncy. These are like the brushed out curls. They always kind of curl it a little bit for you, but yeah. All right, next question. You know, most of these questions are where are you and where have you been? So we've already discussed that. Next question. How did you learn to love having a bigger bust? I can't get used to it. Just into double D, I think is what it's saying. Well, I've had bigger breasts my entire boob life. I remember as a child, I really wanted boobs, okay? And that was like the worst wish I could have ever wished for. I'm used to my breasts though. They don't give me any issues. I did have skin removal surgery on my breasts, so they're still the same size. They just aren't as flat, I guess, as they used to be. So yeah, but I've always had a larger bust. My mom has a larger bust, so we're just used to it in our family. Before, I felt like when I lost weight, because the skin was there, it made my back hurt a little bit more. So now I don't really have back issues. But once I get my weight back under control, I probably will go in for a full reduction, because or something. You know, your breasts grow back after a reduction, which sucks. But if you keep your weight under control, maybe they won't. I do know plenty of people, though, that their breasts have just grown even without them gaining weight. So that's the sucky part about a reduction. I have been talking back and forth with a couple doctors, just trying to see my options. And a lot of them are telling me to just remove all of my breast tissue and replace it with an implant. That's scary. I've always been a little bit afraid of adding things to my body. I don't mind removing, but adding, I was always a little nervous about. So we'll see about that. But I've always had larger breasts, so I've just gotten used to it, you know, over the years. I mean, I was starting to develop, y'all, when I was in like the 3rd grade. Okay, so yeah. Okay, next question is, do you like Tennessee? I am applying to dental school there. Safety and things to do. I do like Tennessee. I mean, I'm from here, born and raised here in Nashville, Tennessee. So of course I'm extremely used to it. But it's grown tremendously over the past few years. I would say since I've graduated college, Nashville has grown tremendously. Okay, like literally now one of the bigger cities, and it's so much more to do. We have tons of restaurants here. We have the African American Music Museum here, which is really cool. You know, downtown Broadway is always a cool place for tourists to come. It's not a place usually where the locals go all the time, but yeah, that's definitely, you know, a big area for Nashville. And I find it to be safe here. I don't feel like I have to be concerned with my safety when I leave the house. I mean, obviously, depending on the area that you live in or that you frequent. But yeah, I find that Tennessee has done nothing but, you know, grown, and it's been amazing. I love seeing all of the new businesses pop up, Black-owned businesses, regular, you know, just white businesses or whoever that are owning the businesses. I'm loving the growth because it just gives us so much more to do here. So yeah, I think you'll like it. Now, people love moving here, especially within the last few years. There's been so many people moving here, and they find it a beautiful place to raise their families and things like that. And we do have some really nice colleges here for higher ed. But as far as like, you know, elementary and high school, I don't keep up with that because I don't really have any children. But I do know a lot of people that move here and they raise their children here, and they find it to be very safe and just, you know, a welcoming city. So I think you will like it. Now, you just mentioned Tennessee, but I only have, you know, real experience with Nashville. So that's just what I mentioned. I'm not sure which school you will be going to. But yeah, so far I'm liking it. I'm not like stuck here. You know, I don't have to be here, but there's no reason for me to leave at the moment. And so if there's an opportunity that presents itself, I may move, you know. I'm one of those people that's like, I'm pretty spontaneous. Like, I'll get up without a problem, you know, just to try something once. But I've been living here my whole life. I only went off to college and then I came back. So, yeah. The next question is, how do you style mini crossbody bags as a curvy woman? I wear them crossbody, or I'll add a top handle. I don't buy bags that I can't, like if they're supposed to be crossbody, I won't buy the bag if I can't fit it crossbody, if that makes any sense. So like for me, the Chanel Rectangle Mini and the Chanel Square Minis, they fit me perfectly crossbody. I'm only 5'1", so I do think that helps. So I don't have any issues there. I'm trying to think, like, okay, so the double flaps. Now, when it comes to like the Chanel medium double flaps, I don't wear those crossbody. I can, but they're like right under my breast, and I am not a fan of that look for me. But you know, to each their own. So I don't have any issues with the crossbodies that are meant to be crossbody, like wearing them as a curvy girl. So, and you guys know I love a cute mini. And I like the versatility of the crossbody. I'm not a huge crossbody girl. I think I may have like one bag that's just crossbody, but I can wear it different ways, or meant to be crossbody. But if I can't throw it over my shoulder or add a top handle, 9 times out of 10, you won't catch me just wearing a crossbody bag. You know, that's just not my zhuzh. The next question is, how do you feel about the vaccine? I already touched on that a little bit. And if your job requires, what would you do? My job would never require that. Just because of the type of company that I work for. I work in the healthcare field, but my CEO is not like that. So he definitely believes in, you know, freedom of choice. So I don't have to worry about that. However, I do feel, like I said earlier, that it can save your life, you know. So I recommend just consulting with your doctor. I don't know if everybody should have the vaccine depending on what, you know, prior conditions they have, but I think it can save your life, and it can save others' lives. So I'm here for the vaccine. I'm not an anti-vaxxer or anything. I still believe that you have the freedom to choose. You don't have to be bullied into taking the vaccine, but if you want to do it, you know, then you do it. But any decision that you make, you have to be okay with it, you know. Next question. Have you ever shopped from Shein, and what are your thoughts? So yes, I have. I used to shop with Shein all the time. Well, actually, not shopped. I've been sponsored by Shein since my career started here on YouTube, to be honest with you. They were one of my first. And I actually have a Shein haul coming up. I took a break from them for a little while, but I've been getting a lot of questions lately to do Shein hauls or like more affordable hauls. So I'm going to do that for you guys. But yeah, I have shopped with them for years, and I find that they have really improved over the years, because when I first started shopping with them, the sizing was completely off. You would have to size up like 3 sizes in order to get your size, because it's an Asian-based company. And, you know, we're from the United States, most of us that follow me at least. So you would always have to like size up. But now they run a lot more true to size. They have a lot of really good trendy items, things that you don't want to break the bank. If you want to try a trend out, I always suggest, you know, shopping with lower end brands like Shein, just to dip your toe in the water. And then you can see if you really want to invest in that trend. But I love trendy clothing items. So I'm all here for, you know, having trendy pieces and just amping them up with like some of my more higher end accessories. Okay. This hair curls so easily, y'all. It's so soft. Okay, y'all. So the next question is, hi, any advice on being more confident, well-spoken, and overcoming fear? So yes, so when it comes to being confident, you have to dig deep and find a way to love yourself. That's where confidence starts. You know, and some people, whether they pour into themselves with self-care or doing their hair, doing their makeup, wherever you have to start there. And then you will start to peel back those layers if you have a clear mind with how you are approaching outward appearance, right? Because you don't want to get so stuck on outward appearance that you forget everything on the inside, because your outward appearance will fade. And once the looks are gone, what will people think of you? What will people say about you? How will you present yourself when you don't feel as confident outwardly? So I feel like I've always been a little, you know, more on the confident side. And it starts with how you're raised and the type of environment you're raised in. I was always encouraged as a child, and encouraged. Yes, I was encouraged as far as outward appearances and things like that. But also what I could offer the world and who I was inside made such a difference to my parents as well. So, you know, being kind and, you know, being generous and uplifting other people, all of that was encouraged as a kid, and I feel like I've grown into that as an adult. But have I struggled? Of course. There are things that I've wanted to change, that I have changed about myself, and that I may continue to change, but that doesn't mean that the foundation isn't there. You have to have the foundation. And in order to start loving yourself, Start finding things that are beautiful about you from the inside. I promise you, when you love yourself from the inside, the confidence will come. As far as getting better with like public speaking and a fear of that, read more so that you are confident in the words that you speak. The more knowledge I have, the more confident I am when it comes to speaking. I am definitely an outspoken person, but if I don't know anything about a situation, you'll find me in the corner quiet because I'm just not confident in talking about things that I don't know unless it's like an opinion type of situation. I'm a very factual, like black and white type of person. So if I can speak facts, then I can talk all day and very like assertively. But if it's just an opinion, I'll state my opinion, and if you'll have yours, and I'll be like, you know what, and I feel you on that too. Like that's the Libra in me. So as far as like public speaking and things like that, I would just say work on that. You know, if that's a fear for you, the older I've gotten, the more I've realized any fear that I have, I am willing to face it head on because I don't want to live in fear. As an adult woman, as an adult Black woman in this time, I refuse to live in fear. So if there's anything that makes me feel less confident, I'm going to explore that. Nothing's wrong with me. Nothing's wrong with me. Nothing's wrong with you. But what is the cause of the feeling? Explore the cause of the feeling, and then you will, you know, you'll be able to dig deeper and start to be a little bit more confident, because the more that you exercise a muscle, you know, the stronger it becomes. And if you are willing to dig deeper and explore how you really feel about certain things and why you feel those ways, it makes you stronger mentally and emotionally so that you are more confident because you're willing to tackle your own issues head on and you're not afraid of being broken down in order to be built up. I don't think other people should break you down in like a negative way, but you have to do that on your own soul work in order to build yourself up, to overcome fear, and to be more confident. So that's my advice, the long-winded version. All right, let's get to the other side. I'm gonna let these curls kind of sit. A lot of questions about how the house hunting is coming. We've already touched on that. It's a process, girl, with the building. It is a process, but it's fun, you know? And I'm in no rush because I hate moving. And the house that I'm building now is not my forever home. I can see myself there for maybe another 3-4 years, maybe. And then I'll be on to the next probably. So we'll see, but it's a fun process. This is my first time building on my own. So, yeah, I'm enjoying it. So many people just asking how I am, sending me love and all of that, just checking on me, and I appreciate that so much. You don't realize, like, when you're an influencer, you know, we create content a lot, like most of the time 2 to 3 times per week. So when we take a week off, it does feel like a long time. And I think it feels even longer to you guys because you're so used to being able to count on us and, you know, seeing us like weekly. So when you don't see us for a whole week, you're like, girl, what's going on? Send out the bat signal, you know? So, yeah, I'm just really, you know, grateful for the community that we have here and that you guys actually miss my presence. So that makes me feel good. Do you have a weight loss update? So thus far, I've lost 20 pounds. I don't really notice it. I really don't notice it. I was at like 14 pounds and, you know, I've lost another 5 or 6. I teeter back and forth. When I wake up in the morning, of course, I'm at my lightest. But then by the time I go to bed, I've gained about 2 to 3 pounds throughout the day. And that's every day. So, yeah, that's the hard part, because if you're a scale person like me, if it goes up, you're just like, oh my gosh. But the good thing has been every morning is consistent, so I'm okay with that. So yeah, slow and steady always wins the race. I'm in no hurry to just like drop weight like that. I'm actually happy with myself, you know what I'm saying? And I'm happy with the work that I'm putting in order to lose it. And I give myself grace. I'm not on anything strict or anything. If I want to eat a piece of chicken that is breaded, I will do that. But 9 times out of 10 throughout the week, I'm trying to have smaller portions and just eat healthier overall, staying away from sugar and a lot of carbs and stuff like that. Now, lately, I have been drinking Gatorade because, you know, need to fill up those electrolytes again. But as soon as I am back at 100%, I will be back on my diet. Right now, I don't have to diet at all because my weight has been pretty steady and I just don't have the time or the strength, okay, to just like put forth in a diet. And I feel like dieting for me, it's a full-time job. I know people don't like the word diet, but in order for me to lose weight, my body is just like that. I have to diet, okay? There's no other way. Yes, of course, healthy lifestyle, but that's how I was able to like lose weight before. But you know, it took, I would say I kept my weight off, and I still have kept my weight off. Let's be completely real. You know, I was much larger than I am now, and I'm still not even nowhere near where I used to be. So I've kept my weight off for over 10 years at this point, right? So I've kept my weight off, I would say, for about at least 10 years. And over the course of all of those years, I have put back on a little bit of weight, but it is nothing in comparison to where I used to be. So I'm not in a hurry. You know, I had kind of became a little bit lax, but listen, obviously weight is always probably going to be an issue. Not a issue for me, but you know, it's going to be one of my things. Everybody has their thing, you know, and sometimes, you know, it could be genetics as well. Losing weight for me has never been super easy. So I'm just grateful that I'm able to see the weight coming off now, because at one point it wasn't going anywhere, girl, and it was getting on my nerves. Because I'm like, dang, what do I have to do now? And I feel like my body had just gotten used to a routine. So you just have to kind of switch it up a little bit. But yeah, that's how it's going. And yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy with the progress thus far. And we still got some ways to go. Next question. Well, it's not really a question. Zara haul, and what are your recent buys? I don't have a specific, I might have a little Zara haul coming up, but I have a ton of videos coming up, or maybe one. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I have definitely purchased a few things. Okay. My birthday is coming up within the next couple weeks, so I'm excited. And you know, I done bought some things. Okay, I already posted my new Fendi bag on my stories, so yeah, I'm excited about that. That is, to me, one of the hottest items to get this fall, and I'm just glad I was able to get my hands on one. So yeah, I have a lot of things to show y'all. I'm excited for fall content, excited for fall fashion, my favorite. It's still pretty warm here, so that's the hard part. I'm one of those people that I used to a long time ago, like set up outfits and go out and take photos no matter what the weather was, just to create content. But I would say since quarantine, I have really been an in the moment type of person, how I normally am. And if it ain't cold outside, I'm not about to be going outside taking cold weather photos. Okay. But as soon as the weather breaks, I will definitely be doing that. I have a little bit of, you know, end of summer content that I need to push out. And then after that, we're going to be getting right into the fall content. So I'm excited about that. And I have, like I said, a few things that I have purchased that I'm going to share with you guys. Okay, so next up, we have a little bit of an advice question. It says, how would you feel if a friend of 15 years didn't invite you on their birthday trip out of town? Nothing had changed to your knowledge, and every year you were invited before. I think I would feel a little slighted depending on what the person was doing. I feel like if any of my friends, like if we had a tradition of going on a trip every year, or, you know, I had a birthday trip and I always invited my friends, I feel like the year that I didn't invite them, we would have talked about it like, oh, well, this year I'm just going to do something low key. I'm going to hang out with my man, or, you know, whatever the case is. So if she didn't like mention it to you, I do think that's a little odd. So you may want to explore, you know, if there's any underlying issues that you guys may have, because like you said, to your knowledge, nothing happened, but maybe to her something did. And not everybody is comfortable with just addressing issues head on. So I would just ask, hey girl, I know I usually go with you every year. What are you doing different this year? And especially if she invited all the other friends and not you, that I don't even think you need to ask. I think you would know right away something's wrong, right? So I would just ask head on. That's just the type of person I am. I don't hold back. I'm like, hey girl, what's tea? What's going on? It seems like, you know, it ain't the same for us, you know, and I want to know what's going on. So I would just address it head on. But yes, I would feel a way if everybody else was going and I wasn't, and I usually did. And I think people need to normalize getting your feelings hurt and addressing it. There's nothing wrong with it, especially with someone who you call your friend. If you feel like you cannot address your friend, not in like, it doesn't have to be in a hostile environment. But if you feel like you cannot ask your friend what's going on, is it really your friend? Like, come on. Let's normalize being open as adults with our feelings. Next question. Oh, not a question, but the Mont Blanc perfume you reviewed is to die for. Oh, I'm so glad you like it. That's definitely one of my favorites. I love that one so much. Next question is luxe jewelry worth it? In my opinion, it depends on what you think worth it is. For me, I enjoy wearing my luxury jewelry. I have not had an issue with not one piece of luxury jewelry, whether it be from Chanel, YSL, Louis Vuitton, Dior, any of them tarnishing or looking dull or breaking or anything like that. Granted, I don't wear them every single day. I don't shower in them and things like that. But in my opinion, they have been worth it. My Hermes bracelets have been worth it as well. So I don't have any issues with luxury jewelry as far as wear and tear. So I think if it's something that you enjoy and that you're going to get your wear out of, why would it is worth it. I know sometimes it's hard to get your mind wrapped around jewelry that's expensive, that's not authentic, like gold and stuff like that. But if you go off of cost per wear, what does it really matter? What does it really matter? So there's certain jewelries that people have passed down, to their kids. I know I have a Chanel necklace from my grandmother, like that she wore years ago. So I think that it is worth it if you're gonna wear it. And I haven't had any issues, like I said, with any of my pieces. Oh, this is a good one. What is one thing you wish you knew in your 20s? One thing I wish I knew in my 20s is that I can fall and get back up, and that I did not have to be afraid of experiencing life. I don't feel like I really experienced a full life. I would say like in my college years, I did everything very safely. I just went by the book, and it was kind of like a robot instead of really choosing my path. And so that's one thing I wish that I would have known, that you can fall, but you will survive or fall, and you don't have to be afraid to fall. So those are the times where you get to make all the mistakes and learn from them. Now in your 30s, I think it comes natural to learn and make mistakes and not be afraid. But I wish I would have been doing that in my 20s, because I probably would have been so much more further along. Of course, anytime you've learned a lesson, you would have wished you learned it earlier. So that's the only thing there. But otherwise, I had fun. I didn't do nothing crazy. I was not a crazy partier or anything like that, but I enjoyed my 20s, and I'm loving my 30s. My 30s are everything. Oh, this is another good question. It says, do you feel like plus size influencers can influence others to remain overweight? That's a good question. I feel like as an adult woman, plus size influencers can help you feel okay with being overweight. And you know how the world is now, is very inclusive. And so it's not like a bad thing to be plus size. I mean, people still going to talk about you, because that's what people, miserable people do. They talk about you being fat, or they talk about you being dark skinned, people who are just miserable. Like, who does that? Like, girl, it's 2021. Who's still talking about people's outward appearance? Like, it's weird. But I think that plus size influencers can help people feel comfortable, a little bit more comfortable in their skin, where plus size was like a taboo thing, and you felt like you did not belong maybe if you were plus size growing up and things like that. But I don't think that anybody should be able to influence you to do anything that you don't want to do. Now, that's different. So if you don't want to be overweight, I think it's important to be confident in every stage in your life, but if you don't want to be overweight, you should not stay overweight because Gabby Fresh is overweight or because Brittany is overweight or whatever, you know? Like, I think that's a little bit weird. That becomes a little bit like of a worshiping type of living through somebody else. Now, weight loss is not easy. So, of course, people, they become confident no matter what, and they're just like, I'm fine. Everybody doesn't want to be thin either. I don't think anybody just wants to be miserable and overweight, like fat, but overweight, let's be clear, is 30 pounds over, right? So depending on your height, girl, you may only need to weigh about 130, and it just depends. So I think you can be influenced by anybody that you look up to, but there should not be any influence that's gonna keep you miserable. I'll say that. So that's a good question though. What advice can you give a micro YouTuber that's trying very hard not to quit? Find things that motivate you to keep going. So of course, when you're a micro YouTuber, you may not have the views that you're looking for, but create the content that makes you happy. Create the content that makes you feel proud. That's most important, right? Because even as an influencer like myself, I'm not the hugest YouTuber in the world. I have a decent following though, but sometimes I create things and I'm just so in love with the video or the concept and no one wants to watch it. But if I'm proud of it, I don't care. I don't look at the analytics or anything. I'm just like, here it is, going back to the Shein hauls. Those were some of my most viewed videos, and I was over making Shein hauls. I was growing, getting older, and those were not places that I wanted to frequent in shopping. But when you make content for others, like I'm making for my audience, of course I wanted to make them happy with the content, and that's what they wanted to see. So I had to make a decision. Hey, I'm going to switch it up. And in my real life, outside of the camera, I was buying luxury. So I started to include the luxury things in my hauls. And yes, I did get a little bit of backlash at first, but more importantly, it was something that I was proud of because it was something that was real and authentic to myself. That doesn't mean that I'll never shop at Shein again or, lower end places, but I was creating content that I liked watching, and that was way more fun because that's the thing about me and YouTube. YouTube has become a career for me, but it is not my bread and butter. Okay. Yes, I'm able to do so many things and so blessed, and it has afforded me a beautiful life, but it's not my bread and butter. And I love that because I still get to sit in the middle of just doing me, and that is so important for me. That's how you get burnt out. Even when you're doing you, just sharing all the time, it's tiring. So just make sure you're doing something that you really enjoy and things that make you proud. And I promise you the people will come. Diversify your content as well and your platforms. If it's not working on YouTube, those same videos in a smaller dose could work on Instagram or Snapchat or TikTok or whatever. So diversify your content. You may blow up on TikTok. So many people that didn't quite make it on YouTube, they're killing it on TikTok, and now they're able to come back to YouTube and produce content and bring that audience over. So stay encouraged, sis. It's gonna come, I promise you, but don't do anything that you're not proud of and that you feel like you have to do because you see everybody else doing it. You're gonna get burnt out super easy. Next question. Does your guy ever feel intimidated by all the designer labels you wear? No, he doesn't actually. My boyfriend, one thing I will say about my boyfriend is that he believes in taking care of his girl, and that's just how he was raised. He has really good morals. He has a great foundation, and that is one of the things that I love the most about him. So when it comes to things that I like and that I enjoy, he literally doesn't care. Does he want to go shopping with me all the time? Absolutely not. But he does not say, why do you buy this? And why did you have to get that? Or, when I give him my Christmas list, he doesn't say, well, why does it have to be this price? Why can't it be this price? He doesn't do that. You know, he just does what needs to be done. And he does not, oh, I need to curl that again. He doesn't finance my wardrobe throughout the year. He buys me gifts, right? Which that's how I like it. He buys me gifts, but he does not finance my wardrobe or my handbags all year round. So he really doesn't have anything to say about it. And I think he's just one of those people like, that may not be my thing, but that's your thing. And whatever you like, I love. Like for him, he loves basketball. So the same amount of money I may spend on a new Fendi bag, he's going to spend that on tickets for us to go to a basketball game. He does not play about these basketball games, okay? Those tickets are bags, literally. So it's the same thing. Everybody has their own vice. Some people's are, you know, electronic. Some people's handbags or designer items or stocks or whatever it is. You know, some people just, everybody has their own thing that they don't see a problem with spending money on, and somebody else looks like, you're gonna spend it out on that? It's just how it is. So yeah, for me, I'm not going to a basketball game and spending $3,000 on the tickets, but that he will do. But I will go and buy one item for $3,000 without the experience, as some people would say, which is a handbag, and be done with it and so in bliss, like be in love with it, you know? So he doesn't care at all. And I love that. I love that we both get to do us. I don't judge him for spending the money on tickets either, because that's his money and he has the means to do so. I think it'll be different if he didn't have the money, and then I'm like, okay, you're struggling and you're doing this, like, you know. But as long as your priorities are intact, that's all that matters. Okay, y'all, so I'm pretty much done with curling the hair. These pieces are kind of aggravating, so I'm just gonna like cut these down with this little razor, and they may have to end up being baby hair. We'll see, because they're getting on my nerve. So I just have a little bit of gel here just to get the flyaways out of the way. And it will kind of help the hair to lay down as well. So you can see that's kind of how the hairline's looking. Okay, y'all, so we're wrapping it up now. This is what the hair is looking like. It's so pretty, right? Look at that. I love this color. Of course, I could add a few layers, face framing layers if I want to. But like I said earlier, I do like to just kind of sit with the hair for a couple days before I start doing too much tweaking. And let's just take a moment for me not having any adhesive on this hair, okay? I did like very loose curls, as you can see. So yeah, but the color is gorgeous on my skin tone. I love it so much. And what I love most of all is that I can just yank this thing off my head when I'm ready to go to bed later on tonight. So yeah, it's really pretty. Let me turn around so y'all can kind of see. Isn't that pretty? I love it, y'all. The color is gorgeous. Okay, y'all, so I just wanted to show y'all how the highlights look in different lighting as well. So you can see they're true like caramel highlights, and I feel like they are toned to perfection, you know, like not too red, just the perfect caramel color. Isn't that so pretty? I love it, y'all. It's like, I've said this, I don't know, a million times, but the perfect fall hair color. And I can just yank this thing off. That's the best part. The only thing I'd probably do is add me a few face framing layers, you know, just so that I can wear it loosely curled like this and it still gives me, you know, like that layered look. You can also wear this hair straight if you want to, but I love a little bit of a curl in the fall. So yeah, I just wanted to show y'all, like I said, the color in different lighting. Really pretty. Love. Hairvivi always comes through for your girl. Always. Ooh, so here's a question. It says, you're like my big sister in my head. Love, love, love you. Love you too. And what is your faith? I'm a Christian. I consider myself to be a Christian. I'm not very religious, but I am definitely a person who believes in having your own relationship, simply because how I grew up. So yeah, I grew up in a religious environment. I grew up going to Catholic school and all of that. So I really do feel like that, along with my family's faith, allowed me to see that there's so many ways to believe, if that makes sense. I mean, you can still be a Christian and believe several different things and ideologies and all of that. So I had to learn that relationship was way more important than the religious aspect of Christianity. And so that was the best thing I ever did, was, you know, have and cultivate a relationship with God. So I am a Christian. I try to walk, you know, and just do the right thing. I mean, obviously I'm not perfect, but yeah. Next question is, how do I save to start adding luxury to my lifestyle? Just set aside a budget every single month, or however you get paid. You know, put aside a little bit of money for something that you are interested in purchasing. If you want to buy a handbag, you can create a budget to where maybe you can buy you a new handbag every 6 months starting off, or every year. And then the more you do it, I think it takes splurging that one good time for you to realize that it's possible to do. I would say the same for like how I, you know, got my condo or whatever. I never thought that I would be able to afford a mortgage, but you can afford an apartment, you know what I'm saying? So it's all in how you spend your money and how you budget, you know, for what you want. So I think sometimes it's getting over the mental hurdle of it's so much money or it's so much. And then once you do that, you'll start doing it often. I'm telling you, there's so many people that, you know, they started purchasing luxury through watching my channel, and they're like, girl, I started maybe 2 years ago and now I have like 10 bags. So, you know, it doesn't have to be that excessive, but I'm just saying, as soon as you start, it's just a snowball effect, especially if that's something that you really enjoy. Next question, how to wait for a quality man and not settle? Honestly, you don't have to wait. You just live your life, you know, live your life. And it's difficult. Don't get me wrong. It's slim pickings out here. And I do understand that. Trust and believe. I do. But I do feel like if you're just living your life and leveling up in every way possible that you see fit, the men will come along, okay? And sometimes you just have to weed out the bad ones. Don't settle. Why settle? I look at like dating. It depends on how serious you take dating. You guys know how I feel about marriage and stuff like that. I love marriage, love companionship and all that, but I'm not pressed about it. I don't feel left out. I don't feel like, oh, everybody has children and a husband and I don't feel like that at all. So I'm not, my bad, y'all, had to close that. But yeah, I don't feel left out or anything. So it's like, I'm good. Like, I look at dating as a fun experience. So of course you want to date a person who has the right morals and values and a good foundation and, you know, things that you have in common with that person. But I don't look at every man that comes into my life as my husband. Can I see them as a potential husband? Absolutely. But I don't look at that man as that's my husband, because I think it takes the fun out of it and it really sets yourself up for failure sometimes. And if you feel like everyone is that, then maybe your little radar is a little off. You know what I'm saying? So I think you just need to enjoy life and make sure that you're pouring into yourself and bettering yourself as much as you can and as best as you can. And the right people, whether it's men, women, friends, mentorships, all those things, they will come to you. Anything that you believe that you can have will come to you if you truly believe it and if you're walking in alignment and doing the work. So that's my advice on that. And lastly, your birthday's coming up. What will you be doing this year? I'm going to go on a little vacation for my birthday this year. We'll be leaving actually next week. So yeah, that's going to be fun. I've never been to this place before. I'm not sure if I'm going to vlog or not. I may do a reel for sure, but I don't know if I'm going to vlog because it's my birthday and it's like I may just want to enjoy my time, you know? But yeah, y'all, this is what the hair is looking like. I hope I was able to answer y'all questions. Listen, the questions that y'all give me are always just so PG-13 and just so sweet. And like, I can tell the type of audience I have. because some of these Q&As that I see, I'm like, yo, these questions are juicy, which I don't mind answering the juicy questions, but the questions that I receive are always just very like, you know, PC, cool, and just like lighthearted, I guess. So yeah, I appreciate that, you know. But of course, if you guys have any other questions for me, if you want me to do a more juicy Q&A sometime in the future, I'd be happy to do that. But thank you guys so much for watching. Also, make sure to check out that description box. You will find all of the specs on this unit down below, and you will see this wig in other videos because it's just that good. The caramel highlights the way that it's complementing my skin tone. It's so good, right? And like I said, I just love the fact that I don't have to keep the unit on. Because I have not worn a wig in like 2 months, I couldn't imagine. I cannot imagine adhering this down right now. Okay, now of course, if I knew I was going to be doing some strenuous activity, you know, you want to pull out a little something, girl, because, or even put your wig grip on. They give you that wig grip, so that's really good, so it won't slide back, because that's the pet peeve. You start out, your wig is in the right place, and by the time you come home, it's sitting back here. We're not gonna do that, okay? So we're gonna either tack that little thing down in the front, or we're going to put something to make sure that that's not happening, because you do not want to be looking like all forehead. So yeah, y'all, thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you for keeping me in your thoughts and in your prayers every single day, and all of your messages that you guys have sent me here on YouTube and via Instagram. I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. I'm good. I'm back, and I'm excited to create some content for y'all. I will talk to you in my next one. Bye.